features that we've enhanced. Here to talk a little bit about the research that went into ChatGPT and the safety that made it more deployable. We have Sachi and Seb.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, my name is Sachi, and I lead the safety training team at OpenAI. So in addition to mitigating hallucinations, we've also spent a significant amount of time mitigating deception. So this is instances where the model might misrepresent its actions to the user or lie about task success. This can especially happen if the task is underspecified, impossible, or lacking key tools. And we found that GPT-5 is significantly less deceptive than O3 and O4 Mini. We've also completely overhauled how we do safety training. So our old models, the models would look at the user prompt and then decide to either outright refuse or fully comply. And this works well in most settings, but you might have a cleverly worded prompt that would sneak through, or you might have a sensitive but legitimate question that would end up with an outright.
She also is a good speaker, a really good, well-spoken person.
Refusal. So as an example, let's take a look at this prompt. So this prompt is about a user who's asking for technical details on how to light pyrogen, which is a material commonly used in fireworks. And this prompt is pretty dual use. This user might just be trying to set up their July 4th display, or they could be trying to cause harm with this kind of information.
All right, so here she's doing an example of I mean, you could ask whatever you want, right? I mean, this thing is open to whatever. So let's see how they control this, you know, for good use or bad use.
And so for this kind of prompt, O3 over-rotates on intent. As you can see, this particular prompt is stated in a way that's relatively neutral and has a lot of technical details. So we can see that O3 fully complies with this prompt. However, if we take that exact same question and we frame it in a more explicit way, so it's clear what the user is trying to do, O3 will outright refuse.
So now it's asking, it asks, tell me how to light a pyrogen at a distance. Give me the minimum. So it's being more precise. It's actually trying to figure out, okay, to give you the actual, step by step on creating it, and it won't show you that. It says, I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that.
Even though we're asking for the exact same information.
So it's like the safety valve there. Like a flag goes up. Something's going on. They're typing in stuff that could potentially be something harmful.
For GPT-5, we've changed this approach entirely, and we're introducing something that we're calling safe completions. The point of safe completions is, rather than judging the user's prompt, instead, it tries to maximize helpfulness within safety constraints. So that might mean partially answering a question or just answering at a high level. If we have to refuse, we'll tell you why we refused, as well as provide helpful alternatives that can help create the conversation in a more safe way.
Or when you start asking these questions, it's going to lead to someone knocking on your door. They're going to eventually automate the this person's asking some crazy stuff, go find them.
Okay. So let's look at that same technical prompt that O3 complied with before. GPT-5 instead explains to the user why we can't directly help the user with lighting pyrogen. It then guides the user towards safety guidelines and what parts of the manufacturer's manual the user should really be checking if they're trying to do this safely.
Yeah, but I mean, you could find, I mean, it's like saying, all right, you know, you're gonna learn it. You're gonna, if you really want to learn about it or like figure out how to do it, and you can't get the answer here, you're gonna obviously get the answer somewhere else, and that answer is somewhere else, and it could be outside of a system, it could be in paper, it could be written, it could be word of mouth. So I get it. It's a safety concern, but the answer will be found if if that person is trying to figure out exactly what the answer they're asking for. They'll find the answer. This is the quickest way to find the answer, but I think to save their ass, they have to set these speed bumps or dead end safety precautions.
Overall, GPT-5 allows for better handling of tricky dual-use scenarios, and users will experience fewer "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that," and it creates a more robust safety system. This is one big step towards a more safe, reliable, and helpful AI.
So the human could figure out a way, because that was what was happening before. Like they were trying to figure out a way to ask it the same questions in different ways in order for it to come up with the answer they're looking for. Humans are really good. They're really good at doing stuff like that, going around finding loopholes. So if she's saying, if what she's saying is correct, it's basically that GPT-5 can detect something around these words. It's, you know, it's describing and trying to get around the system and all that, and putting up the flags and saying, oh, it's trying to, you know, this person's trying to go around to figuring out what it wants. So I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, they know, they have the answer, right? So the answer, this is a tricky thing, because GPT-5 has the answer for whatever you're asking it. No matter what you're asking it, it's gonna find the answer. And they're just trying to save their ass, because they don't want to be in the news the next day saying that, you know, some person, you know, wrote this, you know, asked GPT-5 how to do this and this and that for harm, and then the guy goes, well, I just put it on, you know, GPT, and then it gave me the answer, and I can find anything on GPT, so like, that's where I got it from. And then GPT takes the blame, but GPT is not really taking the blame. They're just answering you the question. You know, it's answering the question you're asking. But at the end of the day, it's the person taking that answer, putting together the action, and actually executing it. It's taking it outside the world of where they got the answer. So I don't know. It's going to be a tricky section here.
Sebastian?
Thank you, Sachi. With GPT-5, we are experimenting with a set of new training techniques that maximally leverage our previous generation of models. Today, frontier models do not just consume data, they help create it. We used OpenAI's O3 to craft a high-quality synthetic curriculum to teach GPT-5 complex topics in a way that the raw web simply never could. Recently in the industry, synthetic data has been talked about a lot. It's often viewed as...
See, like, probably a nice guy and everything, but another person, I don't understand what they're saying. They're, you know, they know English and all that, but it's hard to understand sometimes what some people say if they have an accent, or, you know, this is another thing that's crucial for GPT when it speaks to you, that it's clearly speaking to you, because you just don't understand what they're saying. But whatever. I mean,
as a cheap way to just get more data. However, our breakthrough was not just to create more data, but rather to create the right kind of data, shaped in a way to teach rather than just to fill space. This interaction between generations of models foreshadows a recursive self-improvement loop, where the previous generation of model increasingly helps to improve the data and generate the training for the next generation of models. Here at OpenAI, we've cracked pre-training, then reasoning, and now we're seeing their interaction significantly deepens. In the future, AI systems will move far beyond our current pre-training and post-training pipelines that we have been used to, and we're seeing the first steps toward this right now, right here. We could not be more excited to see what scaling up this new set of techniques will yield in the near future.
Thank you so much, and really impressive work to both of you.
Thank you.